Hopefully it's coming. There it is. Oh, loud and proud. Oh, golly, that was nerve-wracking. Okay, stick with me, folks. It's coming back around. We're going to start the whole show over. Hopefully I'm not being too loud now that I got nervous about that. Let's turn that down a little bit more. Okay, here we go. It's coming. It's coming. All right, let me know when you can hear me, folks. We have a delay as well. Should be okay. I know. I just got so excited I forgot to turn the microphones on. Yes. Okay, we're back in. Perfect. Okay. Well, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. My name's Rob Appell. This is the live recorded version, or the live version with audio now. This is my dog, Winston. I'm so sorry that happened. Yeah, I got excited and I went to grab Winnie in a sweater and I forgot to turn on my microphone. So anyways, I'm hoping you're hearing now. Hello, everybody. Come. Welcome. Make sure you say hello. Let us all know where you're coming from. We've got a really fun show today. If you've never seen the show before, I'm a quilt maker and I like to do a weekly recap of all the fun things going on in my life. I'm very blessed that way to get to do a lot of wonderful things, creative things, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. And I also do tutorial videos and travel videos and things. We also have those recorded for you here on YouTube at Stitchin Heaven. And so at any rate, I want to start doing like fun little segments we can all enjoy and look forward to at the end of the week. That's why we do the show on Friday. And so before this guy gets too anxious for sitting on the table, he's pretty camera shy. I was trying to show you all his wonderful smile there. I think he's got about 3 teeth left. But he is the top of my grateful list. And I want to start and encouraging everybody to make a daily grateful list. I wanted to do 5 items. My screen only allowed for 4. Maybe you only needed to have 1, 2, 3, something like that. But I think it's a great way. I get this from my wife, but a great way to start off our mornings. And so at any rate, I'm going to do a grateful list each week. What am I grateful for? And Winston is at the top of my list this week. And it's mostly because, unfortunately, I have 2 good friends and both of them have ill dogs in their lives right now. We, us pet lovers, love our pets, and it is heartbreaking when they can't communicate and they're struggling with different things. And so I've just been made aware of how much I appreciate Winston and the time he spends on my lap every morning and in the evening, and he snuggles with my wife, and he was so happy. Those of you who are aware, my daughter is away at college in Portland. I'm in California, and she came home for the weekend, and the minute she would sit down, Winston would run over and jump on her lap. So anyways, Winston is top of the grateful list, and while I let him outside because it's getting warm here, all right, buddy, thank you. At any rate, seasons is another fun thing, and I know a lot of us, I'm seeing snow in some photographs on social media. It's unseasonably warm. Well, not really for Mortal Bay, but it is. I'm supposed to say that. It's like 75 degrees here. The changing of the seasons reminds me that the changing of cycles in our lives, good and bad situations in our lives, it's constantly evolving. So part of what I really enjoy doing, especially this time of year, is getting up or a little bit before the sun and watching the sun. The last few mornings, the full moon has been out, and it's been really neat to see that. So it's just by studying the cycles of the seasons and the weather patterns and the flowers and the way the plants and animals and all that stuff work, it's really fun to be reminded of, even in a place like California where we don't really get seasons as much, how important both the good and the bad cycles in life can be for motivation and generation. Fitness. Now here's one. I know this sounds really conceited, but it's not my gratefulness that I'm grateful that I am fit. Yes, I do feel like I am fairly fit, but worse than that, I haven't been taking care of myself. So in order for me to remain grateful about fitness, I'm telling you all I'm going to start taking more care of myself and getting back to my daily fitness routine. So sometimes the things we're grateful for are things that we can also be motivated by and things we want to work towards. So anyways, that is number 3 on the grateful list this week is I need to get my fitness, and I'm wondering if I even spelled that right at this moment. I'm scared again. And creativity is the last one. Sorry, I've started to read a little bit of the comments. And folks, I will check in the comments in a little bit. But yeah, creativity, to get to work in an industry where I spend almost all day, every day being creative in one form or another. Really fun. So if you're concerned about the dress shirt today, last week I was in a tux with a gold shirt, and today I've also dressed for, let's turn off the grateful list for today. Oh, and folks, make sure that you make your grateful list. And as a matter of fact, I would be more than honored to see your grateful list. So you could post them on our social media. You could even email them to me personally, rob@stitchinheaven.com. Sometimes having somebody be aware of what we're grateful for puts our gratefulness into hyperdrive, if you know what I'm saying. So anyways, feel free to reach out to me that way if you'd like. Always fun there. I'm going to blast through some of the notes and the announcements here. Thank you again to all 47,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, do so now, please, on YouTube. It really helps the brand grow that way. I am dressed today, like last week, in honor of Bonnie Hunter and Indigo Way. This is an incredibly popular mystery quilt kit program that she puts all the info out on her website. But we at Stitchin Heaven do the kits and the fabrics. I'll show you the fabric real quick. Here comes the video I just made for you. Hey, Bonnie Hunter fans, we are super excited to announce that Stitchin Heaven is getting all of their fabrics chosen and cut and packaged and ready to go out to all of you who have pre-ordered your Bonnie Hunter mystery quilt kits for 2023, the Indigo Way. It's going to be a fantastic project inspired by a recent trip Bonnie made to Vietnam, and we've got fabulous fabrics picked for you. And if you've already pre-ordered with your $20 deposit over the last few weeks, do check your email and your spam folder. You know what can happen. We'll be getting you the rest of the information necessary. If you haven't ordered yet, please do so by November 11th so that we can get you in that first wave of kits that we are getting out hopefully by November 24th so that everybody can begin and enjoy their Bonnie Hunter Mystery Quilt 2023 Indigo Way. So here's a picture of those fabrics again, real close. Those are the ones that are going in the kits. And if you still need to sign up, you just go to our website. We have a real nice banner, and then you can also just search in the search engine there, Bonnie Hunter. And also don't forget, if you don't already have them, there's a couple of tools that are real important that go with the program. So there are links back on that Bonnie Hunter page, those bars in red down there below, and that you can go. So let's come back in on the side camera, folks. Kind of cool. Here doing also, maybe this is item 5 for the grateful list that we didn't even have an item number 4, but those of you who are noticing following last week, my quilts that had gone to Houston were lost in the mail. I see there's a question about Houston Quilt Festival, so I'll get to the questions at the end of the video. But yes, they have made it home safely, and I've got more I would like to say about that, but that'll be for another day. At any rate, they are definitely back home and safe and excited. Or I'm excited, but we were talking about mystery quilt-alongs, and so yeah, you know the Bonnie Hunter stuff is super fun, and if you haven't done it before, I really encourage you to sign up, follow along. It's going to be great. I am showing off this quilt top for one of 2 reasons. One is I've picked the backing. Look at this. Oh, maybe we can go to overhead camera if the overhead camera's still awake. Yep. Look at this. This is going to be the backing here, and this is my New Year's quilt top from last year. I know, that's last year, and I showed you the backing, and we're getting ready to start preparing for this year's. But I took a little while to find the fabric I really wanted. It's a beautiful one that coincides with some of the fabrics from Marcus. But nonetheless, I was also reorganizing my studio, and if I don't work quick, things get a little forgotten about. And so this is now going to be something that I personally finish for myself. One of the things that you've heard me talk about often is having something to work on that helps me enjoy my creativity that isn't really part of the show. So the work behind this quilt is really done. So this weekend I plan to put some batting in between the backing and the top. And I'll probably just go ahead and do some free motion quilting on my little handy quilter Stitch 510. I've just done a review video for this coming up. Oh, look at that segue. That one's coming up next week, really how do I think of, or what do I think of my handy quilter Stitch 510, and at any rate, you probably know the answer. I love it, of course, but I really like to just sit and play in free motion, and so I might end up getting myself, if I can't get this finished all the way this weekend, would be amazing, because if I do that, then it might be the perfect gift for somebody coming into the Christmas season, because you know it is November 3rd, which means the Christmas holidays are around the corner. Time to start finishing up our quilt stuff for our gifts. If you don't have the perfect gift already, I'm just going to encourage you to get one of these right here for your friends. It's the Carefree Quilter shirt. That's right. The team Rob Appell. There's also a team Tiffany Hayes, and these are part of our New Year's mystery quilt sew along that started last year, the quilt I just showed you, and it was kind of a joke, but look at this. Isn't this graphic great? Look, folks, the tips, the squares are literally wonky, like we've cut the tips off on some of these, so they're not perfect squares, like this one's oblong. Isn't that awesome? And Tiffany's, of course, is perfect. And so yeah, the mystery quilt sew along, your kits are now available. And I might have shown you these, so forgive me, but I just had so much fun doing this. We wanted you all to get to see what the fabrics were going to kind of look like in the mystery. So I've got a patriotic theme of my fabrics that I've chosen for the mystery quilt if you choose the Rob. And Team Rob is, or Team Tiffany, really applies more to the fabric choice than the actual, if you're a quilter that is of precision or not. And here's Tiffany's beautiful Tiffany blues and pinks and blacks. And these are all going to be in batik, so it's just fantastic. And we had fun, you can see, getting ready for the photo shoot, which turned out awesome. So we got to get these great photographs. Again, encouraging you to join Team Rob, the Carefree Quilter. But before things could settle down, they of course got carried away. And I don't know if I've shared this photo with you or not, but a fight broke out on the set. And unfortunately, the camera person was dropping the camera to run to get in on the brawl. And this one's a little bit blurry, but nonetheless, it's a lot of fun to get to work in a creative fashion each and every day, getting to do stuff like this for all of you. So I just really want to say thank you for supporting Stitchin Heaven and following along and purchasing all of our goodies, which allow us to continue to do this kind of stuff. So we're having a lot of fun with the Carefree Quilter, or the Precision, a passion for precision quilter, Team Tiffany Hayes, and it all just kind of relates to a free sewing event. So New Year's Day, you can sign up with an email. If you want kits, you can. If not, you can work out of your stash. But it's just a way for us to all get together and fellowship and share in the community of quilting on a day that most of us have off. And we'll be live for about 4 hours, walking you through the parts and pieces you need for this year's mystery project. There's a website, Stitchin Heaven. There's a link right there. Register for free. Check it out. Exciting. We also this week had the Pressing Matters. So I'm doing a lot of how to learn to quilt stuff. And so here's a little promo for that. And today we are going to dive right in. Hopefully we'll do a short video, but I'm pretty long-winded if it's your first time here. I want to talk about some real pressing matters, some things that are real important to us as quilt makers. Sewing and cutting and pressing all come together for the accuracy some of us might be after in our patchwork. So I've got a couple of different ways we're going to sew together seams today, and we're going to talk about how we press for success. And so as we're doing that, let's start before we even got to these pieces, and that really is, I like to have a couple of great tools. How about another picture of the quilt? This is called Bird of Paradise, and it does feature my new fabrics that are called New Worlds, and I just love it. But we're getting ready to build some kits out of this, so you could also send me an email if you're interested in a kit. We're trying to figure out how many we should get built right away. So I hate to say this, but yeah, let me know. You're not committed by any means, but if you're interested, shoot me an email at that rob@stitchinheaven.com, and I'll at least let you know when they're ready, and we can get you going that way. Folks, I'm about ready to dive into a comments check here, so go ahead, and if you have questions or comments you'd like me to be aware of, put them in here. I see a couple of great questions I do need to tend to. I want to make sure I've gotten through all of the announcements. Oh no, how could I forget this? A couple of more incredible announcements, folks. Of course, you know we have our flash sales every week. We add items to this, and this comes in your email. So of course you want to sign up for the email at stitchinheaven.com. But this week has got to be my favorite week of weeks and for months and months. Look at all of the treasure we have here. So I have these Ginger scissors on the set handy. I have the little embroidery scissors handy. Unfortunately, I do keep a seam ripper, but I make my own. In the second row, we have rotary blades, we have the binding tool, which is incredible, and the clips. If you saw me making the rug a few weeks back, oh my gosh. So like almost every tool in there is a tool that I really, really like and enjoy using. Part of the reason we do our flash sales that way now in a group is so that you can actually load up. $99 or more will get you free shipping at Stitchin Heaven, even if they're discounted items like the flash sale items. So that way you could load up. And again, don't forget that those are some great items for holiday sewing. I know we've had a lot of new quilters join our community this year. And so if you have a friend that is learning about quilting, and these are some of the videos that I've been working on, like the pressing matters, I've got a cutting tips, I've got a ruler tips, I've got a couple of different things that I've been working on that are kind of like the basics of learning to quilt. Well, I'd encourage you to share those videos with them and then maybe make them a wonderful stocking stuffer goodie basket where they could get some fresh rotary blades and those quilting clips. And like I was saying, these little scissors are absolutely fantastic. I just love them. I use them a lot. And so at any rate, we're just kind of expanding the offerings and expanding how I can serve all of you out there through the camera, through the video system. The other thing I may have mentioned that I'm really excited about, and they are now on our YouTube channel where you're watching this, but there may be a little confusion. Now, let me slow down. I get excited. Stitchin Heaven is literally the premier shop in all of Texas. And better than that, I think we are the biggest shop for block of the month, period, online. So we offer over 40 programs a year. A lot of them will run 12 and 13 months long, and they're incredible. You get a kit, and some of them are going to be sew and go style. Some of them are going to be laser fused cuts. You know, there's all kinds of different varieties. And this was a question I was asked, all different skill levels, because the patterns come from all kinds of different designers out there. I know we're doing a Nancy Halverson right now. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't start because I'm going to forget who all the other designers are out. But nonetheless, I am now offering like a welcome video that will be like your guidance video. So if you're participating in our block of the month programs, we're building a playlist on YouTube, and you can see videos like this. This one's about 2 minutes, folks, so bear with me, but I think it's really cool. And I also got some comments though. Folks were concerned about these videos. So these are really geared towards the folks that already have signed up and already are participating. That's not why we're not making big announcements. It's not necessarily on a schedule. The folks that participate are part of a groups on Facebook. So each block of the month has its own Facebook group, and we do a lot of our communication that way. But we thought we could offer a longer form video and a really great, you're getting your kit in the mail for the first time. What do you need to know from us? Where maybe the cutting color guides are, maybe where there's additional information, maybe if you need a really long add a quarter ruler for like the carnival block of the month, things like that. I can now communicate early with all of you. So that's what we're doing with those videos on YouTube. I encourage you to check them out. If you're not part of the block a month, it might be really exciting for you to see what we offer, and a lot of times we'll offer the same block of the month again once it finishes. Just keep in mind, most of these programs have started. So if you're watching them and you get really excited, again, let us know, info@stitchinheaven.com. We may be able to get you involved. We may have leftover kits, but mostly it's for the folks that are already participating so that they have a little bit of a value added extra happy quilt making from us at Stitchin Heaven. So anyways, these are what these videos are going to look like for all of you out there. Hey folks, it's Rob Appell from Stitchin Heaven's YouTube channel, and I just wanted to spend a few moments with you on your trick-or-treat block of the month. Block 1, as it's starting to arrive, you've probably gotten your packages tore open, you've got your fabric starting to spread all over your sewing room or your dining room table, and I just wanted to give you a couple of quick tips here today in this live video on your Facebook group. So that's right, we have this wonderful Facebook group for all of you. Make sure you're signed up so we can communicate specifically about trick-or-treat block of the month right here for everybody. If you need, we have a fabric key that's available. This came in your first month set of instructions.
instructions. So there's a specific link to the fabric key for this particular program. These are raw edge fusible. We're using our heat and bond light with these, and therefore it's going to be a real quick 3 to 4 second press and lift when we're done getting all of our pieces organized. But before you can get them organized and pressed onto the background, you're going to need to cut them out. So these have been pre-fused. Our fabrics in the kit are pre-fused with the fusible web on the back, and they've been laser cut, but you're going to use a little pair of hand scissors and cut out those little notches. That way you can keep all of your fabrics organized. It stays very nice and tidy this way. Cut out those pieces, peel off the paper, and start to lay them in location on your quilt block. Once everything is exactly where you want it, that's when I want you to go ahead and press. Don't try to press too early because you may have to adjust, and it won't be able to because the heat and bond holds so well. So at any rate, make sure you look through all of the instructions, make sure you understand your layout, and enjoy the process. And we will see you next month with another radical portion of your trick or treat block of the month. Thanks for being here, folks. Oh, I gotta get back to work.
So yeah, I just wanted to clear up a little bit of that confusion for some of you. I'd had a couple of comments like, how do we get started? What's going on here? And yeah, we're just having a lot of fun supporting our block of the month participants. It's just a really great way to enjoy that quilting inspiration constantly. And I just saw a great comment, and I just want to say thank you directly to Jeanette there. It says, thanks for restoring my quilting mojo. Jeanette, the short form of quilting mojo is just Sojo. If you'd like to do that for future typing, it'll save you a little time. And you're absolutely welcome, and thank you for being here because it's a mutual, it's a symbiotic relationship. And that's what I was saying earlier about having new quilters in our lives and getting them the benefits of these great tools and these great folks that we love to follow and these patterns and all of these things is really it's important to our mental and physical health to be doing creative stuff. And sometimes wanting to do creative stuff can be quite overwhelming. So having a creative buddy, a kind of a creative accountability partner can be awesome. And if you haven't ever read the bucket, read the bucket. There, well, you know where I'm going with this one. Read the book. Thank you again, Brody at So Yeah Quilting out in Las Vegas, who sent me the book a long time ago. It's one of his favorite books. You know, those guys are awesome. But yeah, how full is your bucket? And it just talks about every interaction we have can be a bucket filling or draining experience with the others involved. And so by being creative with others, I really feel like we fill each other's buckets. And so Jeanette, you're welcome for the charge to your Sojo, and I want to say thank you. It is reciprocal. Okay, folks, get your questions and comments in. Last thing we're going to do today is invite you to the retreat. I think it was a great segue. August 7th through 11th out in Quitman, Texas. We will be working on quilts that are patchwork backgrounds and appliques on top, like the quilt I was just showing you here on the side wall. The Bird of Paradise. I've got a couple of other ones, including the Into Blossoms. I'll be happy to teach that one at that retreat at Stitchin Heaven there, because we have those kits provided. It's going to be really great. It's going to be, and I'm sorry, we're still putting up the information on the website with the actual images of the projects and more specific information. But yeah, it's going to be, oh gosh, I think it was Tammy was the one who helped me name it, but we're going to call it the Fabric Fusion Quilting Retreat. And it's going to be a blast. And so at any rate, please consider signing up for my retreat in Quitman or one of the other fantastic retreats we have out there. And just really want to say thank you again for all of the ongoing support that all of you quilters offer all of us quilters, because I think that's probably the easiest way to say that. All right, let's check some questions. I'm going to start at the top today and see how we did. And oh, I see a hi from down under. Good day. And I actually saw that earlier too. Awesome. So sorry about all the terrible audio at the beginning. Yep, that was my dog Winston. And it was all, one of these days I'm going to get my microphones set up correctly. I see Arizona was out there. Chichi Paco says, hello, Winston. That must be another Chihuahua out there, I'm hoping. Maybe a Chiweenie of sorts. And I tell you, I think I want to get a wiener dog, basically, because it sounds more fun. And I want to name him Doc Schnitzel, but do it DX Schnitzel. So it'd be like Doc's Schnitzel, you know? I think that'd be hilarious. Anyways. My friend Karen races wiener dogs, by the way. That's another little fun fact for the afternoon for all of you. Okay, so Vicky was concerned, thought you would be at National Quilt Festival in Houston. Yes, I am normally at Quilt Market and then sometimes Festival, and I just didn't go this year. The quilts were supposed to go, they didn't make it, they got lost in the mail and then came back to me. They came back to me, and there was the deliberation and consideration and just a lot of travel on the books. And yeah, I would like to get back. I hopefully will be able to go to Houston Festival next year because that's where all of you are at, and I'd love to see you and your quilts and stuff. So yeah, I know. I wish I was there. Okay, let's see. All right, Julianne, I'm grateful for what you're grateful for. I'll say that. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Something I am also very grateful for. Have I ever had my own online quilt shop? Yes, it's called robappell.com, and it is very limited. Stitchin Heaven is my online quilt shop. My mom and I used to have a brick and mortar, and it was really before the era of too much online ordering and whatnot. And so technically you can buy a few of my patterns and my templates and things off of robappell.com. Sometimes when I'll do things like wooden stencil, stilettos, seam rippers, I do like handmade stuff. I'll sell those, my exclusive stuff, but really I would like you all to participate and support stitchinheaven.com. So when the fabrics are available, I'll ask you to get them from stitchinheaven.com versus robappell.com. I primarily use robappell.com to keep my pictures out there. Thank you for Carl for being our #1 customer. He always has something on pre-order, it looks like. And could I show you one day how to do a flange binding? That is a great question. I actually had a friend show me recently how she likes to do her flange binding, and I used to do them built into the borders as an interior before I would go into the binding. So let me work on that. I'm not an expert at I'm not an expert in any of this, but I'm not an expert at that. And so let me go ahead and get to the expert level before I try to teach that one. But that's a great request. Are the kits for the Bird of Paradise going to that? One of the questions is, are the kits for Bird of Paradise going to have pre-cut pieces? I believe so. That's how we're looking at the files right now. Part of it is trying to get ready so that they'll be available for everybody at the expo, which is the last day of November, first days of December. And we get the fabric a little bit early because of me being the designer and Stitchin Heaven and Bannertex and Bernina all being partners. And so at any rate, that's kind of, we're just in the crunch time. So we'll see, we're hoping to. The answer I want to say is yes, but I don't want to be more of a monkey's uncle than I normally am. Thank you for the nice compliment about being a favorite YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Oh, great. I'm glad, Carolyn, you found my old series of machine quilting on the domestic machines. I also was doing those live for a long time. That's kind of what started these Friday lives. But the audio and video, long story short, is we ended up pulling a lot of the older live videos down to make space for the new stuff we're doing. We'll kind of probably constantly refresh the live stuff. Do we ship to the United Kingdom? I do off of robappell.com, but you will pay gratefully for it, unfortunately, because it's just how the post office does it. The Stitchin Heaven does as well, but they may have more weight restrictions because of some of the limitations they have on some of the products they have. So yes, we both ship internationally. Happy to take care of you over there on the other side of the pond, if I understand the process correctly. All right. Okay, it looks like I've got all the questions answered. Again, all you folks, I really appreciate you being out there. Make sure that you give all of your special pets a little hug and kiss from me today. Like I said, and we'll lift up some prayers for my friends that have sick dogs right now. And, you know, for some of it is just from age. And I guess they're both, one's got a diet issue, really. But nonetheless, these little folks mean so much to us. And so I'm just going to encourage you all. Let's go over the grateful list one more time because I thought that was kind of fun, if I can even find it. Here it is. Encourage you all to make your grateful list. Be grateful for something. I encourage you to start with the low-hanging fruit. Pets, seasons, health and fitness, and creativity. And if you're not grateful for those, please check back next week with me, and please be grateful for those things by next week, which means you might have to go out and get yourself a sewing machine, a rotary cutter, a bunch of fabric, a dog, a goldfish, I don't know, a snow globe so you can create seasons. No, I'm just being silly and goofing off. Again, folks, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every one of you. Have yourself a blessed and fantastic weekend. I want to make sure I got everyone's questions answered. If I didn't, send me another email, rob@stitchinheaven.com. Until I see all of you Wednesday with a recorded video, thanks for being here. Please